Hey guys, so I'm coming to you with my review on the new Milani palettes, the Bold Obsessions and the Most Love Mattes. Sorry for that reflection. I also apologize in advance because I'm not wearing either of the palettes in this video, but I do have videos where I am wearing the palettes and I'll link them down below. I film in bulk. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I film in bulk. I film a lot of videos at one time due to my schedule and how I have to do them. But yeah, just so you know. Alright, so Milani came out. I did introduce these palettes and some of my initial thoughts in a haul type of video. But Milani came out with these larger palettes, and yeah, let's just get into it. So they both, I have some information about both. We have number 1 and number 2. Again, this packaging is really pretty, really gold, really reflective. It has a lot of fingerprints on it, but this is what they look like. Okay. Yeah, I don't even remember when it came out, a couple months ago, I would say. They retail for $20 on Milani's site, depending on what drugstore you go to. I got mine for $14 at Walmart, and that was the cheapest that I've seen them. Of course, you might have drugstore deals and different things like that and coupons, but these are $20 palettes. In each palette, you get 12 shades of varying colors and finished, varying colors. Is that everything else of both the palettes? Yeah, so let's go ahead and break them down individually. So the first one, number 1, is the Most Love Matte palette. So this is what you have. You open it up, you have 12 shades. Beautiful packaging. Reminds me of the Stila palettes. I forgot what they're called, but the yeah, that are kind of set up like this. So you get 12 matte shades. They're a little bit on the neutral to warm side. Yeah, neutral to warm side, varying in shades from light cream, eggshell, down to you got some warm peanut butter, terracotta shades, and then you have a couple, you have a deep brown, a deep plum, and neutral nude there. So this palette, let's talk about the quality of these shades. Really, really nice. I like Milani's eyeshadows. I have their not Bold Obsessions, that's this. The other palettes in the gold packaging with the clear lid. Anyway, they do a great job of mattes. Their mattes are not too creamy, not as creamy as like, again, like a Lorac shade, but they're definitely creamy and blendable where I dip my brush in them. I don't get a lot of fallout. When I dip my hand in them, it's a really nice glide. They transfer to the eye really well. I'm going to show you some swatches of them. Really nice. Sorry, I have swatches on here previously. Yeah, really opaque shades. I have no qualms about the quality of them. They don't seem to be too chalky for me. I know the top row was a little bit chalkier than the rest of them, just a little bit dustier. But they didn't go on any differently or blend any differently, but just for that sake of just saying it, just letting you guys know. Excuse me. So yeah, the quality is there. Color selection though, I will say this, as a woman of color, I could have done, a lot of this is repetitive in my mind, looking at this palette, like these top, I don't need all these. They could have taken out some, for example, these two, they're on the ends, they're pretty close. I could have just did this one. This is just personal preference right now. This is personal preference. If your skin, and you can show all these different tones and they don't look the same. Also, these two in the middle, they're very close, as well as these. This one is a little bit warmer than this one, so I might let that slide, but this whole top area, no, there's a lot of difference in between these at the bottom. Like all these matte shades are really nice, but this, just the top 6, they could have done differently. I would have appreciated a little bit more variety. You're paying 20 bucks for this in the drugstore, which again, if the Stila palette was 20 bucks, you'd be like, okay. However, you do have to compare. You do have to compare where things are coming from. You do have to look at that when we're looking at things. And I just think there's not enough variety in here for me to want to pay $20. Now, it is a good matte palette. If you need some matte neutrals, depending on your skin tone, you're going to get them with this palette, and there's nothing wrong with that. These deeper shades down here will be great with angled brushes for liner. Do really well with that. I love a warm crease. There you go. But you could have literally taken, like, out of these 5 shades, I could have taken 2 of those and they could have popped 3 more in there for me, because I just, yeah. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. still, packaging is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Right, now we're going on to number 2, which is the Bold Obsessions. This has a variety of finishes, not just one specific finish. And I'm going to open it up. This is my favorite of the 2, and you'll see why. This is what we have in this palette. Alright, definitely reminds you of a Stila palette. Okay, so we have, and all the shades, by the way, I apologize, all the shades are named on the back of the palettes. They are named. Alright, so in here, oh, excuse me, in here we have a top row of matte shades here. We have a top row of mattes here. In the bottom row we have the ends. The 2 ends are matte shades, and then the rest are varying finishes of satin, shimmer, metallic. And I can appreciate that. You have a little bit more color variety. These 2 shades, again, this is like a pinky. This is like a tan. They're different enough, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's not so much overlap, I feel as though, in this palette. You got a beautiful, beautiful taupe. You have a taupe, you have a denim blue, you have this beautiful matte black. They work together. Let me swatch. Let me swatch. Let me swatch. I'm so heavy-handed with my swatches. Like, seriously. Alright. Here we go. Some variety in there. Beautiful! Look! Alright, so I know everyone, you're wondering about these 2 in the middle. These 2 heavily, you can tell they're in the pan, they're heavily metallic. And they are. And they are right there on my hand. Beautiful shades. Beautiful. So, the quality of these, the quality of the mattes are the same as the Most Loved mattes. I have no issues with them. The satins are really beautiful as well. They glide on, they blend well. I will say this, with these 2 metallics in the middle, you can see even now, look how flaky that is. It's really like, it's really, it really picks up a lot, and it's really flaky, almost like a pressed pigment. Now, this is not a con necessarily for me, but you can lose more product this way. You might get a messier eye, fallout. It looks wonderful. It looks wonderful wet and dry. I've used this shadow wet as well, but it's very flaky. The burgundy one underneath of it is not as flaky, but I do get some of that flaky sense in that one as well. And so that's something you might want to take into consideration if it's a big annoyance for you. These are the 2, in my opinion, 2 prettiest shades in this palette, and so they'll be my most used shades as I use this palette. So you might run out of those quicker than you would run out of any of the other ones, not just because they're your favorite, but just because they will go faster because of all the flakiness and the falling out and things like that. They definitely seemed a little bit more creamier pressed, softly pressed, things like that. So you guys should take that into consideration. The matte black in here is definitely matte. That dark brown as well is wonderful liner shades, just like the previous palette. Good to go. Take an angle brush, you're ready to go. This shade is really unique, and I really appreciate it. It's like a mauve. This shade here, I want to talk about that for a minute. See how it's everywhere. It's flaking. It's everywhere. I'm going to put it at the top. Yeah, that mauve, almost like a blush shade. Really, really pretty. And that's something, I don't see a shade like that in many palettes. You see like a straight burgundy or like a copper, but to have like that mauve pink, I can't really, or you see like a straight pink or fuchsia, but to have like that mauve pink with that deep, that brick undertone to it, I really can appreciate that. It's a really unique shade in there, and I'm glad they put it in there. The taupe, I would call that like a champagne. They do well as well. Again, light flaky. Light flaky. Nothing like the 2 in the middle. But, yeah. Just wanna say that. So I'm adding swatches to my hand. Beautiful. Yeah, I can appreciate these. In my opinion, I guess a lot of people want to know worth the money. Are they worth $14? Yes, I would say yes. That's how much I paid for them. Are they worth $20? For the quality, yes. For the shade selection and the Most Loved mattes, no. Yeah, no. This one, yeah, I paid $20 for this. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So that's something you guys should know. Let me know how you feel about them, if you picked them up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about these bad boys, go ahead and leave it down below. I love you all, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.